Good morning, Robert and Charles.
Morning.
Let's start the interview. Okay, first question goes to Robert. Okay, playing Elrond in the Lord of the Rings can be pressure for you considering that he's one of the iconic characters. So, what the difficulties that you face when playing the role of Elrond? And then furthermore, there's a lot of fighting scene with the style of Middle Earth. How do you cope with those obstacles?
Yeah. Well, in terms of the pressure, I mean, it is. I do feel pressure, but I feel pressure mainly to sort of honour how I feel about Elrond and the way that Tolkien wrote about him, and I just want to do the best job that I can with this amazing character that he created. This half elf, this orphan. He's sort of the mutt of Middle Earth. A lot of the lines of Middle Earth flow into him. So he's a real sort of unique character in Tolkien's Legendarium, and so I feel most pressure to honour that. In terms of the fighting and stuff, there's like one scene that me and Owain do where we're breaking rocks together, and that was a really fun scene because we got to work with the stunt guys. I mean, it's only a really simple action, but how does a dwarf swing an axe versus an elf and stuff like conversations like that were really great, and obviously helped define a larger language of how each of the creatures move.
Do you get hurt with that?
No, we didn't get hurt. I don't remember getting hurt, so maybe not.
There'll be lots more opportunities.
Yeah, I'm sure.
As we go on.
Okay, the next is for Charles.
Yes.
In the series, what is the main role of the Celebrimbor character? What is the most interesting and surprising thing about this character?
Well, he's an elven jewelsmith, and his role ultimately will be to become involved in forging the rings of power. But the most interesting thing about him currently, as we discover him in the series, he's sort of reached, or believe he's past the pinnacle of his abilities, and he's sort of questioning himself as to what more creativity does he have within him, and he's looking for the next big thing to satisfy him creatively. But he's putting his energies into all sorts of things, but he's sort of unsatisfied internally and creatively. So that's where we discover him at the start of the series.
So excited, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next question is for you both. In your opinion, what is the best part of that series that viewers would absolutely love?
Oh, there's so much. There's too many to mention. I mean, personally, the best. Well, I mean, I think probably seeing Numenor for the first time. I think that's going to be a big highlight for many people, because it's very well chronicled in Tolkien, but it's never been depicted on screen. So I think that'll be a key one.
There will be a lot of exciting characters and realms to be expected in the series. What are the filming experiences like? What impressed you the most when filming for this series?
The scale of the sets that we worked within. There was very little in the way of, with a lot of CGI movies, for example, you find yourself talking to tennis balls and things like that. They went to great efforts to, wherever possible, to have us all there together so that we could concentrate on our work rather than having to be distracted by talking to thin air.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and the cast. I mean, the crew working with great creatives who just inspire you every day. Obviously makes everything easier.
So how you build connection with all the cast?
Well, it was we found ourselves in a unique situation in world history, in that we were there during the pandemic, and connections kind of built themselves, really. Because it's quite a disparate experience actually filming, because everyone's filming their own stories. So, and we don't know much about what each of us is doing. So the sort of off-screen time, the socializing time, was when we kind of bonded as a group.
And me and Charles were in this really unique situation where we just didn't have very much time, did we?
No, we didn't.
So a lot of the pleasantries sort of went out the window and we just got straight into it. Which meant that friendships grew very quickly under environment like that.
Yeah, they do.
That's good. So what is your big expectation for this series?
I think, I hope, and I'm sure there will be a huge increase in the sale of Tolkien's books. And I would love people who aren't familiar with Tolkien to be introduced to him this way. I think that would be great.
Especially the first age, which is an age that we're way closer to in the show than the third age that everybody knows, you know. There's some great stories and some great books in the first age, which hopefully people read and enjoy. I'm sure they will.
What is your preparation for all these series?
Reading
Reading
Tolkien,
okay.
and just doing as much research around his work as possible to try and inform what we ultimately do on screen.
Oh, okay. So the reading is the hard part for you.
No, it's not hard. It's become really joyful actually to reintroduce myself to Tolkien.
That's good.
So and obviously you want to imbue your performance with as much of him as possible. So that's the way I start anyway.
And you, Rob?
Yeah, I would agree. I think I would agree with Charles, and also, you know, that great conversation between the source material and the showrunner's material, and how they take us from one point to another.
Yeah.
You know, that conversation and speaking to the showrunners about stuff like that is really fun and obviously necessary as well.
Thank you,
Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Charles, Mr. Robert.
Thank you.